Welcome, everybody, to another unboxing by Darth Vader. Okay, that's not really going to be Darth Vader doing it, but it is going to be hardware. Just give you a short pass of the wall as it is, but it's not going to be Imperial. It's not going to be Sith in origin. It's actually going to be the very first Haslab that I've taken too long to do for Jabba the Hutt sail barge, the Khetanna. This thing is massive. It's got some nice graphics on the outside. So this is going to be entirely me. So in order to be able to manage something obviously of this size, we're going to do some pausing as I pull things out. But let's get this underway. All right, so it takes a little bit of doing. You got to undo all the sides. You got to undo the tops to be able to bring this top down. Obviously, since this box is going to be necessary to keep intact, I definitely want to. But we have it wrapped on the inside. Obviously, good packing styrofoam. And let's give her a pull. All right, now that takes some doing. It does say over here in the instruction manual to have a unpacking barge buddy. Whoop! I do not have that, so it obviously takes you a little bit of effort to pull this huge thing out of the styrofoam and then the giant bag that was on top of it. So you can see, wasn't thinking, so I pulled Yak Face out already, but there's Yak Face that comes with it. He is carded. These panels come off to show the interior, which we'll take a look at. Yeah, we'll take a look at that in a minute. I don't want to just yank that, but there we have it. This side of the sail barge comes off, so you can set up Jabba and all his minions. Otherwise, that's the body. Now we got to unpack the sails and all the other accessories. So stay tuned. Be right back in, actually right now, because I'm pausing this. All right, so we unpacked the accessory box. As you can see, we have the masts, the side fins, the sails. All of that's got to be put together. No clue. So this is going to take a little bit, but we'll take a look as we go. All right, so this is scary because this stuff, where the sails, I'm assuming, go, the masts are nice and sturdy, but some of these wishbone pieces, these things, and when you're pulling them out of that packaging, oh my gosh, that is scary moments. You feel like you're going to break them all. But thankfully, we got everything out unscathed. Otherwise, that would have sucked. And now we'll come over here to the manual and see what must be done. Hopefully, we can start with the deck gun, because that's my favorite. All right, well, as you could have guessed, obviously the first thing to do, if we were looking at the thing, was not the deck gun. It's putting these little clear pieces on, so it looks like it hovers. The underside is not entirely detailed, there's a little bit. And as you can see on this side, there is no opening. Looks like some of these little windows open. I'm gonna have to double check, but they're opening. But it looks like the other thing we're doing now is these side fins. So let's get that underway. Ugh, styrofoam. I'll have to pick that out. All right, let's get to it. All right. So we have these foils on. They move a little bit. Obviously, I'm guessing that's for turning like a rudder. It's like an old-fashioned pirate ship look. It's pretty neat. All right, so the next part was the guns, which is great. We have these little side guns here. Obviously, the big center gun in the middle that was used to shoot down into the barge by Princess Leia and Luke when they were on board. And then there's another gun. There are two other holes here and here, and these are on the non-opening side. So for right now, I put those guns on the outside because that's the side I'll be displaying. Maybe down the road, depending on parts and all that eventually, maybe I'll put another set of guns on the outside. Looks like, I don't know if this is for masts or not, but there's also some other holes. So we'll see what those do too. It would be nice if they gave you all of the guns to be part of the set, but I guess you could technically use a couple guys if this was real and pick them up and put them to whatever side you needed to. But next is the sails. Wish me luck. Now, because I believe in building everything at least twice when you're trying to, there is a specific way to do this, and honestly, it doesn't really 100% show how the sail goes on perfectly, but you got to stick it into these end pockets here. You got to stretch it out, which makes you panic a little bit, but you can see these parts of the sail rigging are short and long, so you got to make sure obviously that matches up with the sail. Of course, I had it on the other way and had to take it down. These little pieces slide into these notches. There's holes that looks like they're supposed to go into. That was not the case. But otherwise, here we go. One sail. All right, we got one of the sails on. And now we got to finish rigging the second. All right, so there we are. The outside of the Khetanna is complete. You can see up in there is the deck gun. So let's open her up and see what we got to do inside. Actually, before we do the inside, I just wanted to show some of these little things that are kind of neat details. If you look at this, these little doors open up, and then this top rolls back so people on the deck can go below. And then we have stuff to see now. That's why I wanted to just get this out of the way. On the deck, we have two sides with these doors that open up going down. We'll see where those lead to. And I don't know if... We'll see what else we got coming up. So stand by. All right. We got one of the sides open. I'm having a hard time with the front area, so I got to figure that out. But I thought this would release this panel, and it doesn't. If you're up on deck, Jabba likes little trap doors. Oh! And it looks like past the galley there's a brig. So as soon as we can get to the front of the ship to look at the rest of that part, you'll see where they fall into. Man, the styrofoam. I hate styrofoam. But we're getting there. All right, we got some... Looks like we got all the panels off. This is the cockpit. That was this panel right here. Open that up. Pretty nice, cool looking. Not sure what some of these plastic clamps are for, but we shall see. We have here's the brig where the people fall through that top. Looks like there's a Ithorian that is not doing too good. And then you close that up. And that's the way into the cockpit through the galley. Looks like we got some food ready to get going. We got 2 staircases going up to the deck, so that's what those top ports were. So if I open this up on the top deck, that's where those go. So that's how you get from the top deck down to the lower deck. It looks like that would be a weapon room, an armory. Looks like that floor panel comes out so you can stash weapons and contraband. The Khetanna was used by Jabba as his primary way to get to and from his palace, which he would stay in, and then go to Mos Eisley or wherever on Tatooine he wanted to go. Looks like this top one is what this staircase and then ladder goes to. And then in here we have Jabba's throne room. Got a little portrait of some Hutts. Got a Gamorrean guard head. Looks like a baby Rancor statue. And then the fat guy himself. Now his throne moves. Not 100% sure why yet, but we'll dive deeper and take a look. All right, looks like you can remove one more panel. This thing just keeps having surprises. This corner piece, which I'll more than likely keep on, pop that out because it looked like it had some seams. You can see from those windows earlier, those little windows air out because Jabba's a fatty and gonna need some air. All right, let's keep going. All right, looks like everything is completed. My thoughts, it's massive, very cool. I definitely have a whole bunch of Jabba's Denzians that I'll be able to throw up on there and set this up. It's gonna go up on the wall just above the computer. And I'm going to try to put the Sarlacc pit, that was a Target special, just below it. Kind of give off that, when they went over the Pit of Carcoon vibe. I have the skiff and stuff too. I like it a lot. I don't think there's much you could do about these very thin pieces to make it easier to get out of the box, but that's a little scary as far as putting it together. I know people that sell these used on eBay. A lot of the masts are snapped and have some problems. So I guess if you're a one and done, cool. If not, then make sure that the stuff is not broken if you're buying it off of eBay. The only thing I really do not like at all, because it's kind of a pain, is to take these panels off takes a little bit of effort. And they snap in and they're nice and tight, and that's great. But when this thing is all set in there, you gotta poke your fingers into the holes and pop them out, and then they go flying. In today's day and age, I just don't think that's necessary. You can just as easily have taken all these little tabs out, replaced them with magnets, and just had them magnetized. But this is Hasbro's very first Haslab that they did, where people would fund it before they would release it. And it was very well funded. So, I guess if that were to be done now, maybe it would be done with a few extra improvements, and maybe all these little wishbone pieces for the sails could have been put in loosely and just had tape over it, so you're not panicking as you're trying to rip them out of the bubble tape like a figure. or the bubble plastic. But otherwise, this is awesome. It's enormous. It's definitely an eye catcher and something to add to a fantastic collection. And the dying Ithalorian in the back there, definitely is kind of cool. So there we have it. I did not figure out, so I guess if anybody knows if there's anything to why Jabba's throne moves back and forth. I don't know if it's just for making room, but I don't see any secret passages or anything pop open. So if you know what that's for, go ahead and leave a comment. Otherwise, it just looks like it's just a moving piece for now. But there we have it. We got Yak Face, which I'll set back up. We got Jabba, and we'll fill it up and stick it on the wall soon. Thanks for watching. If you guys have them, tell me what your thoughts are. If you don't have it, tell me how you like it. Thanks all. Take it easy.